Hello there YouTube, it's Sibbles and Bits back at it again with another Arcanium run. Glad to finally get in here and be able to actually do another all random Apex run. For those of you who may have been wondering for the past couple of weeks, this is completely normal for me to somewhat fall off the face of the earth because work gets pretty intense, especially near the end of the quarter, and this is at the end of the year, so it's even more intense. However, due to the fact that well, the weekends upcoming are currently holiday weekends. Chances are we're not going to be doing the Arcanium speedruns on Twitch, so I figured it'd be nice to get a couple of these out there, just sort of manage them as we can, get them out there for you guys so that you guys at least have something to watch, which I'm sure you guys appreciate, especially at this time of year. You guys might even be saving these for, I don't know, being stranded at a relative's house, who knows? Anyways, just go ahead and start up here. Okay, so we actually have quite an interesting team here. We have Angorn with the cleanse. We have Leon with the ability to give immune, and then Carrion has his stackable ult. We're gonna probably try to get Iron Cage as soon as possible, which means that we might even spend money re-rolling the item shop. And the fact that Angorn has cleanse means that we're relatively safe in areas such as Scorchlands because of, well, they like to deal a lot of DOTs there. Otherwise, Leon should be able to protect us from like heavy hits. This is a very good team where we can just sit back and wait until we have to use our ultimates. We don't have to feel like we use them all the time. Of course, if we start Scorched Lands, like that area is like pretty good for pumping ultimates. I think it's going to be Scorched Lands going into Uzir. We might actually even start Uzir. Who knows? Uzir has a lot of burn that we would be able to use the cleanse on. And at the very least, like, the cleanse also gives regen. And if I recall correctly, wound is earlier in Scorched Lands than it is in Uzir, so we can get away with that a little bit. The main problem would be is actually killing Carrion's minions, which he'll probably have to kill them himself. I don't know, we can give this a little bit of a try. Uzir or Scorched Lands, though. I kind of like the idea of it being Uzir, but I also definitely see Scorched Lands as well. Scorched Lands could possibly get us a broken card on Carrion. Could get us a decent defensive card on Leon. Also with this team though, it could be a number of things that just like aren't great. So that's my main contention with going into Scorched Lands. Like, it's got pretty good hits, but it's also got a high likelihood of just falling flat. So I think we're going to go ahead and go Azir. The gold's always going to be useful, especially because we know that we want to reroll shops. Here's an item. We'll definitely take that. One location in Azir. We actually don't want that. Pick an ability, sure. And then we don't want to be here. 3 locations in Scorched Land probably isn't going to happen, but it will give us a shrine, which I like the shrines that are here. The shrines that are here are pretty good too, because you also get access to something like, honestly, Soldiers of Elune would be pretty good with Carrion having this, because having 3 minions out on turn 1 that are probably going to get destroyed means that this scales up, you know, it's going to scale up relatively easily. And of course we have animated carcasses, which of these people, I think that we want to get a AP on Carrion as soon as possible. So, looking at our surrounding area, I like that we have these shards here because it also makes it less likely that we're going to get blocked out of our capital. You just go up here, and then if there's a battle here or here, we just go ahead and click those. And then we just don't push in until we absolutely need this capital for healing. Otherwise, not too easy to access shard battles here. We push for our level as soon as we possibly can. It might even be wrapping around here and getting this guy right here. Then we should be honestly good to go. With 1 AP, and Carrion's able to double stack his minions. Again, the worst thing that could possibly happen here is... Where's he at? Oh, province details. I don't think that Lisgar is... Oh, he is an easy enemy, huh? So, of these three here, probably the worst for us would be Sandwalker Lisgar, but only slightly. I don't know, trying to piece through this. It might be a little bit slower than usual. I might stop talking at some point in here because, well, I mean, not to sort of like, you know, beat the bush and always have it as an excuse, but my vestibular condition is particularly not happy today. I spent all day yesterday basically in bed. Think we can get with that, and for now we'll put it on Carrion. But I definitely like that. I was debating keeping that loot cache for a little longer because if we're trying to fish for Iron Cage, then we want to be able to drop purple items, and it's possible, but pretty much a little bit too early for purple cards. We can only really get them out of loot caches during the first 3 threat. But I also kind of like need that to help me fight, but it was a potion of swiftness, which really doesn't help us out. No, not much else to look at, really. I like that our shrine's there. There's a defense battle here, which is a little bit suffer. Okay. This is kind of nice. We should, though, be able to pretty much handle this situation here. It won't be too bad. Having access to immune here when this guy ults is great. And there we go. That is a dead enemy. Let's go ahead and just add that there just in case we miss block on the burn. This feels significantly different from the speedruns that we've been doing. Not only has it not really been necessary for me to think a lot, but... Oh? Discard carry? I mean, it's good damage. Definitely think that we put this in instead of a Leeching Strike for now. But you honestly don't even have to like think much during the speed run, because usually speaking, you're sort of like just setting yourself up for success, and it's all about execution. But not only being in a situation where you have to worry about that kind of stuff, but I guess more along the lines being in a situation where you can worry about that kind of stuff is certainly interesting. Again, after having done that for like 2 straight weeks, it's a nice change of pace, honestly. I'll admit, this is a little bit of an awkward fight. And I cannot hit both of these men. That is something serious. I feel like this should be lighting up. Hold up a bit. Been a while since we put in one of these, too. Anyways, I guess a question down for you guys down below. Are you guys excited about the holidays? I know that it's kind of stressful for a lot of people having to, you know, some people are setting up the holidays, and so they gotta be worried about if it's the perfect holiday, right? Like there's sort of almost like a pressure put on where, I don't know, a lot of people say that they have to have things be perfect and whatnot, and Personally speaking, that really doesn't make much sense to me, but obviously there are people out there that feel that way. I probably could have taunted that this way and saved a lot of damage here, but at least he has enough, Oh, that dispelled. Never mind. Angorn does not have enough. We have survived the rounds, though, and that is good. Ornate Hammer. Gain 1 shield whenever you hit an enemy is quite significant on, well, I mean, we got quite a bit of AoE. We've got the AoE Discard Strike on Carrion, and we also have the AoE Strike on Leon. And so, gaining 1 shield whenever we hit an enemy in that regard is, like, pretty good. If we get access to Ward on Leon, then this can go up to 2. Just sort of, like, help him block out a bit. But I'm not even sure that that's necessary. Like, it'd be nice to have, I'm not gonna lie. Otherwise, Ammo Crate. Draw 1 card whenever you empty your hand once per turn. We're currently doing discard things on Carrion, so it's nice to be able to not have to grab draw, just to use 2 discard strikes. So I think that's actually what we're going to take this time. Bottled Lightning is pretty nice, especially, again, we've got all this AoE available, so Angorn can actually use his AP to give us something that we're actually going to use. Otherwise, Spore Burst is still very good. 3 poison in an area is a total of, like, 6-ish damage. Of course, enemies like to block and cleanse here, so DOTs are a little worse. And then Judgment, able to lifesteal. Honestly, I'd mainly take it for the damage. Again, low amount of hits here. We've got relatively good block with him and Angorn. I'm more interested in, like, the damage. So we're going to go ahead and take that on Angorn. And we can probably get rid of a Vine Lash for that. Elemental Shrine can be huge. It was not huge. Elemental Power, obviously we have no red cards, so that's not very good. Breaching, sort of interesting. Again, since we're here, enemies sometimes will choose just to pretty much shield themselves. We've got Elder Genie that could possibly come up. He would shield himself, shield everybody, and this would pretty much, like, put a kibosh to that. But I think that this early, Seeking is hands down going to be worth it for us. I was kind of hoping that we would be able to gain a level before 4. But I think how this is going to have to go is 1, 2. And then we can start taking these guys. Because then we'll have that 1 level on Carrion. This event, maybe, but I don't think that any events in Uzir actually give essence. Suppose we could always give it a try. We have the money. 50% chance for a loot crate or an artifact. Both of those would probably be green. So honestly, not really feeling it. Whereas a camp could at least be an upgrade on the shock. Could be an upgrade on one of Carrion's minions. Could be an upgrade on his discard strike, actually. And if we're honestly trying to do a whole bunch of that, maybe it's that's not a bad idea. I don't know. Like, besides Angorn's cards, I almost feel like we could even do random upgrade too. We haven't really grabbed anything that we don't want upgraded. It's just, like our starting deck may or may not want to be upgraded. This is tough. We'll actually try the camp with the 2 upgrades. We got the Necrotic Blow and a Leeching Strike. Let's just make sure that that's one that's in our deck. It is. 2 Leeching is kind of nice at keeping his minions alive. Let's just keep... Oh, well, that's helpful. I'll lose 2 health for an Elemental Shrine, actually. 3 Fury. I think that that's incredible. Otherwise, Draw Scorching is definitely notable due to the fact that we can access crit through burn here, and we don't burn things. So, how exactly are we going to be able to burn things? Most likely Draw Scorching, otherwise we're going to have to utilize our artifact slots for it, which may or may not get a little bit weird. I suppose we could get the Infernal Torch and put it on Leon so that he just AoE cleaves, hits everything. Fervor is interesting. I actually don't think that it's... I know I was looking for this earlier. I don't think it's actually good on this team. Mainly due to the fact that, well, our ults don't really... The only ult that's really good is Carrion's. I don't know, maybe when he gets another AP, then it'll be more juicy, because then we'll be able to get his ult minion out there faster. But it won't be stacked, right? It's not going to be like incredibly good. Maybe we still do that anyways, because Angorn being able to get off like an additional heal might be notable. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that that's the right play. We're going to enable crit. This will be nice, but I kind of want to save that for later because I want that to be a better item. We didn't get any essence, but we should be able to take care of these, well, I say relatively quick, but, you know, as quick as, you know, you can be in this game. Let's go ahead. Leeching Strike. Burn that man. That must not work the way I think it does. Hit it just in case. It's a little annoying, honestly. Kind of took that specifically for that purpose. Definitely ordered a little bit bad there. There we go. Never punished. All right. Now we are looking good. All right. Alright, so I'm sure that you guys possibly know how I play by now, but just in case that you don't, this is going to look like a misplay, but it's absolutely intentional. I do not believe in stalling out the fight just to have Angorn full heal everybody. So, as soon as this fight is able to be ended, it will be ended. Does that mean that I won't, like, finagle a bit to try and get the healing out of there? No. But I will not sacrifice a turn for the purpose of getting that done. Oh! For instance, that. Otherwise, yes, I realize I could have just, like, taken one turn and probably taken care of all that. Having Dispel on Carrion actually is pretty good. I'm willing to do that. And it's basically a Vine Lash Plus that dispels. And as you saw, it's also like significantly better. Well, so long as whatever you count Dispel as, but it's definitely better than the Poison Flask. This isn't going to cost a threat, so we're going to go ahead and do it. And it's a little annoying that it's cleanse, but, shit's gonna happen. We still at least get to use this. Get a little bit of that AoE damage out there. Alright, so we need to take note that all of our discard strikes are gone. But that does mean that we got a juicy minion turn here. We managed to get this frickin' turn over here, though. What the heck? What the heck? Alright. We're gonna take a little bit of damage here. But, again, we're gonna be relatively fine. Alright. Oh, we're just barely gonna actually miss lethal here. I guess that's how it's gonna be, though. Alright. We'll definitely get one AoE damage, so this guy's, like, functionally dead. Case in point. That's a little rude. I don't think so. Alright. Power Grip's pretty good. I also like Protection Aura. Protection Aura, especially like upgraded for 6, is quite significant because that's a lot of block to be putting on everybody. The problem is that it kind of costs a lot. And it's preemptive, so it doesn't really get rid of an intercept. But we're going to go ahead and do that anyways. Alright. So we're pretty much at the point where this is going to be as easy as it is. We're all pretty much fully healed. The question is does anything really need to be upgraded? Or up-tiered for that matter? Because we do have access to an Oracle. Maybe actually getting Protection Aura upgraded would be pretty good. Bottled Lightning, we don't really have enough hits, in my opinion, to actually be like, wow, we really want this upgraded. That feels like it would be a waste of this thing. Otherwise, when we beat this shard battle, we will get access to an artifact. If it's bad, we can up-tier it then. So, we also happen to have this guy just lying here, which is quite nice. We're going to go ahead and take this one. Hopefully it doesn't lock us out of this forge. It did. Okay, it's Vishar, who is pretty annoying. A loot cage for tentacles, though, isn't necessarily that bad. We don't really do a lot of swamping. As for this burn business, I don't think that we're actually too concerned about it due to the fact that Angorn does have relatively good healing, right? But that first turn was pretty suffer, not gonna lie. Here we go, now we're starting to get going. Get those guys starting to stack. I guess just hit this guy twice, that you pretty much kill yourself this turn. And let's go about this way. That way we'll start to get this AoE block, start to get this health situation under control. And we're going to have our ult next turn when we get hit by this Mother Hubbard. Of course, now you've got this, and I'm not sure that I feel comfortable hitting myself for 7. But I think we kind of gotta. We'll go ahead and put this out. Throw Amalgam over there. Hit you with that again. And yeah, we're kind of in a way. Let's hit you with that. AoE, ult. That's going to block pretty much everything. It's going to do everything except that burn. But, oh my good lord, I could have done that. We got Soothing Rain. So, everything is actually A-okay. We're starting to stabilize here, which is great. I don't think that we actually want to use this Unholy Swing either, unfortunately. Let's just go ahead and hit with that. That's again just like a little bit of ordering there. Probably should have done that beforehand. Alright. Keep this burn going. It's not really doing a lot of damage because of the resistance, but I still feel like that's a good idea. We're actually going to scale here. And this is going to give this minion 2 more health, which is kind of nice. Alright. This will get this minion dead, which is Also kind of crazy what we want. Sorry, fiddling around with my headset a bit. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. Keep this going. We're actually looking quite good here. Whoop. Hit you with that. And again, this burn situation's pretty much under control because we got Angorn. So not too worried about that, honestly. Discard that. Gonna play this minion here. Got ourselves a free leeching strike, which we kind of could have used, but eh. And we should have our amalgam yet again. So we'll do that. That guy's going to be ended. And we're honestly going to do something along the lines of this. Which probably looks a little weird, but we're going to be able to get this guy over here, and that's the reason why we're at it. And I guess just prepare to get blopped for a lot of damage. Alright. So now we gotta decide what we're doing here, and I guess it's gonna be something along the lines of this. This seems to actually really be working out for us. Like, this fight is going to take 12 centuries, and I apologize for that, but when you have a Carrion-focused damage team, like, unless Leon or Angorn figures out how to do damage, this is kind of how all these fights are going to look. Alright. Balls. I'll admit, I'm doing a little bit of funky movement here. I don't even know what the heck I'm trying to do. That definitely felt a little counterintuitive. Alright. This fight is over. Cursed Trinket seems interesting, if only because it almost allows us to go infinite, but that would require us to go up to Anador, which I really don't feel like doing. With taunt-centric play here, Burden Staff honestly might not be the worst play here. It allows us to actually get some damage out there and speed up these fights. Otherwise, Dark Cow gaining cleanse whenever a minion in our is destroyed in our lane. Like, it'd be nice to have access to cleanse, but we also have Angorn. I don't know, like, for sure, with us having 4 AP, all we need is like a minion in our hand, and we'll be able to destroy a minion, which can cleanse like a lot of nasty effects that may be on us. And we're not going to have access to Angorn's Soothing Rain absolutely every turn, unless maybe we run into like a couple of solar flares or something like that. But for the most part, it's not going to be always accessible, so then Dark Cow would be very useful in that situation. Again, Cursed Trinket, it's also healing, right? But in my opinion, Cursed Trinket, again, just allows Carrion to go infinite, which, you know, is the best thing about Carrion. Or at B, when you have absolutely no minions in your deck, right? It allows you to still get access to that 2 health recovery and sort of sustain yourself a bit. But in that instance, you're generally mostly looking for, what is it, the leech one? The one that leeches? Because that's going to get you what you want. It'll get you more health on average than Cursed Trinket will, unless you're somehow able to discard, like, I don't know, 4 cards a turn, which means that you're going infinite with Twisted Staff. So I'm sure you get where I'm going here. But Verdant Staff actually is damage, so we're going to be taking that. Light Wisps is regen. It's pretty, like, good. I don't know. Otherwise, being able to get Life Leech Plus in there seems pretty good as well. Notable mention for Holy Light as well. Like, all these are pretty ridiculous, but I'd much rather get some Leech out there. Light's Wisp would be good for setting ourselves up for anything that requires cards in hand. It's a good target for this discard Carrion to have stuff that may not have necessarily some impact, right? So go ahead, put the Light Wisps in his hand, and then he doesn't necessarily have to worry about having the AP to use it, but he gets a full hand, uses Discard Strike. Oh no, what are we going to get rid of? Like, my hand is good. Well, don't worry, just get rid of one of the Light Wisps, right? And so with that, you're able to constantly be like discarding. Like, if you have that one hand where you grab 3 discard strikes, Rites of Light will pretty much take care of that. In fact, I don't know, maybe that's the play then. The other thing to note about that is that if we discard it into our discard pile, then our discard pile grows, and then we are looking at stuff like, I don't know, Unholy Blast, being able to deal AoE damage according to how much is in our discard pile. But that's also technically like not what we're trying to do. That's just currently like what we have available. Because what we're actually trying to do is pretty much scale that ult, right? For the most part, like, you play into Carrion's ult, unless it's the shuffle deck, in which case you can still kind of play into that. Unless, of course, again, if you go infinite, it doesn't matter what his ult is. You just win the game. So I'm thinking Life Leech is actually what we're looking for here. And I'm willing to put that down instead of one of his leeching strikes. Hey, that's a minion. Would drawing till our hand is full actually be good on anybody? I'm not really convinced. I almost think that what we're going to do is take Flame Guard Sabatons, put it on Leon. That way whenever he tries to either block on purpose with Intercept, or he's just intercepting in place because he's blocking, again, it's just more thorns out there, which is overall pretty nice. Okay, this is actually looking quite juicy. Let's go something like this. And then and that is 3 dead minions for Carrion's ult. Probably could have ordered that differently to actually get out more cards. I'm not too concerned about it though. Get rid of that, that's for sure. We're actually going to discard Life Leech here. Because we want to bop this man, then bop this man, then bop this man. There we go. That's a kill. And let's just make sure, get that a-rolling. Heal this man. That's unnecessary, actually. Okay. Perfect. Soul Scratch, huh? If we have Leech, if we have... Like, Soul Scratch isn't really bad at all. With Leech and Shock, Soul Scratch is a cheap way of dealing both single target damage and just utilizing on hit effects. Because it costs as much as our Leeching Strike, and it does 12 damage. I don't know, it's pretty freaking good. It's not even upgraded. Do I really care to upgrade you? Still 5/5. That's a display bug right there. Kind of interesting. Kind of significant. But I don't think we necessarily want to be there yet. Let's get rid of that. Alright, so what exactly are we looking at here? Maybe debating this loot cache, but I think it's honestly just taking this fight. Because I kind of want to save this loot cache and this for when we're at 11. Which we should be able to get to here. Okay, Elder Genie is quite nice. Mainly because he doesn't frickin' attack. We are going to want to take care of the Scarl's Tamer as soon as possible, though. So we're going to try and set that up a little bit. Whoop. Alright. I think we can afford to start doing this. Get rid of all that. Probably could have taken some of this leech here, actually. I'm trying to wrap up this video. I know I haven't been talking, but I'm sure you guys realize that I'm just trying to get this done with. We'll actually go ahead and do that. Oh, the one annoying thing about these genies, though, is that all they really do is just block. Like, all the damn time. I'll tell you what, that'll certainly help. Might as well use this and take no damage. Otherwise Otherwise, we barely got through his shield there. All right. Tell you what, that Dispel's coming in handy here. Doesn't really feel like it probably, but it is. It's gonna feel pretty misplayed, but there now we've got this big chunky boy here. And we're gonna make sure he keeps all of his health. Okay. Get that back out there. It's a bit of a misplay right there. Could have been doing some damage, even though that's just going to do 1 damage here. Okay. Get rid of Unholy Swing. Okay, that's starting to feel a little bit good. Get that ulti ready, I guess, and we'll just got regen for days. All right. Soon the suffering will be over, people. There we go. What the hell? I've been swindled? Alright. We've already got something on Angorn. Let's not really get him another thing. Also, Druidic Familiar, obviously pretty damn good, but I don't know if it's necessarily good for this team. Could facilitate into discard Carrion, actually, but I don't know. We seem to kind of be going into like this whole taunt style, so Sacred Bastion actually isn't that bad. Sky Conduit is more... What am I trying to say? It's more shock. We want it. Especially because, you know, it's good. And if we're going to start doing like a bolster strategy, which we currently don't have access to, we would actually want more draw on Leon. So it's kind of a question here of how exactly we go about that. Also possibly a draw on Carrion, so that we don't have to do like awkward hands in order to make sure to get ammo crate. because if we want to discard and use Necrotic Blow, we kind of have to just disregard whatever the third card is in our hand, no matter what it is. And gaining an extra card would just make that a little bit easier, honestly. But I think for right now, we're going to give it to Leon. Wow. Well, of these options, I guess Fervor is the right choice. There is something to say about Wrath, especially since we're, like, complaining that we don't have enough damage. Wrath obviously solves that problem. But, yeah, I don't know. So now I'm sitting here, and I'm wondering... do we actually push for this Breach Elite battle? And then get this Shard battle for 3 bosses done before the end of Act 1. I think we can. And there's our item shop that we're looking for, except that might be an Anador, not Uzir. That would be quite misfortunate. Alright. This might get a little bit spiced. But I think this is pretty much how we're going to want to do this. And it might take ages, to be honest. Like 12,000 ages. That is unfortunate. I guess we're going to have to do something like this in order to get that shock out there, which means that we won't actually get to utilize it here. Probably should have done Unholy Swing earlier. I'll be honest, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll take it. It's gonna hurt. Alright, we're finally getting here. We're not really scaling Carrion's ult as much as I would have hoped we would. All right. All right. And this is pretty much what we want to see. We want to see Carrion's ult here with 2 turns here. Block for this man. Alright, and we should be able to finish here. See, now this is pretty much what we were looking for. The ability to crit off of burn. Necrotic blow plus? Huh. These are both very interesting. I'm actually preferring runic power, but it could potentially be necrotic blow plus. Help get a little bit more damage in there. Because chances are, again, we're going to be discarding cards because, well, 1/3 of our deck is to 2 discard cards. And this could even be the card that gets drawn after Ammo Crate, during which we've also probably discarded a card. So, runic power, though. It's almost better than, what is it, Power Grip? Because Power Grip would allow us to get 2 power as well. But this also draws us a card, which may or may not be good because maybe we can't use it. But if we're going into a bolster setup, we likely... Sorry, in the late game, we're most likely going to be able to play these cards. So this honestly might be the play here. Thing is that right now, Leon isn't really doing a lot of damage because we just haven't set him up as such. Debating healing, but I'm going to believe in myself. I'll take it. All right. Admittedly did not pay attention to that. Well, this is admittedly not good. Certainly not how I wanted to end this. We honestly might be dead here too. That certainly helps. Hmm. This DOT certainly won it for us here. And I would probably say Angor did too. But we ended up making it, which is a good thing. Whew. Let's not do that again. Alright. Phantom Scythe is actually quite interesting when you consider how much AoE we have. My understanding, though, is you do not have an heirloom, so I suppose this is what we're going for. Paladin armor could potentially be another thing that we're looking for, but if we're going with the bolster stuff, then we're going to go with the bolster stuff for now. And this is going to be what we'll lean into. And we can definitely run with this. That's another thing to note. Overpower Plus is a lot of damage, especially when you already have power. The problem is its initial cost is pretty rough. It's definitely worth its cost here, though. Like, it's basically a, I suppose it's melee, so it's actually not worth its cost originally. I mean, you get the power with it, but it's a melee version of Aurora's Fireball or Tara's Snipe Shot, except that it gives you power as well, and you get to play it again. So if you have 4 AP, you're most assuredly going to play all your... What am I trying to say? You're most assuredly going to use all of your AP, which is very good to not waste, like later on in the game, because once you get up to 4, really the most that you can go down to without having to waste AP is like 1, because then you'll go up to 5. Chrysalis doesn't seem bad at all, actually. It costs 2 though, which is kind of the problem. But again, if Leon's going to end up going bolster, which we found absolutely no bolster cards yet, which is quite problematic, then this is going to help. This is also going to help Carrion with his discard strategy, because now he can more freely push out discards. And if we're going to use that, then I would suppose that we would want to get AP on you. A bolster card would certainly be nice. Another minion. Look at that. All these are seeming pretty interesting. We would want another source of burn due to the fact that, well, it doesn't matter if we have Scorching in deck. If we get to a point where, like, a boss has Cleanse, like, not Nocturnus, but Razar can cleanse himself, certain Akans can cleanse themselves, or, God forbid, we are fighting for more than 10 turns, then we're going to run out of burn on the enemy. And so then how are we actually going to get access to crit after that? We're going to have to take something like Molten Curio, since we didn't get the burn on hit. And the person more likely to get attacked is going to be Leon. Anyways, I guess a couple things that we can do is we can go ahead and suppose take care of chores, if you will. Let's hit up this forge. Let's hit up this alchemist. Brass Knuckle doesn't really do much for us. All shock you trigger deals critical damage. You know what? Why not? I never take this thing because I don't actually think that it's worth it, especially now that we got Firestorm Ballista. We're going to be happy that we took it. Zora's Longsight would also be pretty interesting. Beast Slayer's Trophy. Like, honestly, all of these are looking pretty good. Bounty Hunter's Satchel, admittedly, would only be good if we get a bunch of, what am I trying to say? Bolster cards, because then we run into this, draw a whole bunch, and assuming that we had already taunted, we're going to get access to a ton of bolster cards and just play a whole ton of cards. And that would feel pretty good, especially if somebody puts shock down and then we crit on shock. It'd kind of be like a multi-strike sort of deal, except we'd only be able to do it really once, but I'm sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. We will take that, because it is immediately useful. We sort of have like a bunch of weird artifacts at the moment. I don't know why I did that. I'll take just 100 gold. I don't want to increase the threat. I really wanted to take that alchemist. Anyways, I suppose that's going to have to wait until next video. Anyways, again, sorry for being a little bit silent. Massive migraine, trying really hard to focus, and I don't know, hopefully it was good. If you have any feedback to leave, be it questions, concerns, comments, misplay alerts, be sure to leave that down in the comments below, and until next time, I will catch you guys around.